Hi Gemini, this is your forecast for the year 2017 first quarter. This is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, or Gemini Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a personal reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited my site before, you'll need to clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. So Gemini, the first quarter of 2017, beginning with January, there could be some misconceptions taking place. Now, for some of you, perhaps some important woman in your life has an influence over your finances. For many of you, this is going to be a very creative period. If you are an artist or a writer or in any way creative in some field, this could be a very good month for you. You may be in touch more on an intuitive level with regard to your finances this month. But whatever the case, you're going to be looking closely either at your career or your finances, because it's possible that you are involved with someone who may be misleading you in some way, perhaps even conning you. Some of you are being impractical with regard to what you have envisioned for yourself. So there may be some confusion again this month, and you'll be taking a closer look at some things. And it's possible that, you come across some information that you're not necessarily pleased about. And perhaps working so hard or working at something is going to take its toll on you, and cause you some, because of the anxiety related to your projects, it could spill over into your physical health. So this is a month to focus on feeling good in order to manifest what you need. If you are particularly looking to others to validate you in some way, you may feel a little more sensitivity toward criticism. So this is a month in January for you to, while you may have a lot of responsibilities, make sure you find some time to also relax, have some downtime in order to keep those frustrations from mounting up. But this is definitely a month where you will need to be particularly honest with yourself about where there may be shortcomings with regard to your career, your work, your finances, and your connections. And look at where you are thus far and try not to participate in any self-defeating behaviors, attitudes, outlooks that will prevent you from acknowledging opportunities that arrive for you that could improve some things for you. Again, there may be some hidden issues that come up this month for you in January regarding your career or finances. And if you have been hiding anything or anything has been hidden from you, this is going to be the month where that surfaces. And try not to allow your preoccupation with the material or making money or your financial situation to overwhelm you in ways that prove counterproductive to whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. But again, this can be a very creative month for you if where you put in a lot of effort. You're very imaginative, you're visionary in your ideas. And some of you, there's some changes taking place. Some things are in flux for you. Maybe you're doing some traveling. But this is a month to be very down to earth and not let your emotions override you. Make sure you're being practical and realistic in your approach. This is a month for you to be very vigilant and stay on top of a situation with regard to your finances, not allow apathy or the avoidance of dealing with things to sidetrack you or derail your efforts. So in the month of January, there's a delicate balance between your emotional perspective and your material assets and the opportunities. And all three of those are subject to change at any given point within the month of January without notice. Now, you have this Page of Swords in February. So this is a time where maybe you are dealing with something mentally and you're having to be very quick on your feet. You have your wits about you. And so maybe you're trying to work something out. Maybe there's some issues or some disputes related to a project or with regard to your finances, and you're trying to come up with a rational and objective solution. You may have to defend your ideas or your finances or your job in some way. Some of you are dealing with careers or pursuits that involve communication. You may be dealing with a professional advisor, or you may be offering advice, or some of you may be traveling. The spoken or written word could be exceptionally important this month. So this is about putting your intelligence, your skills of communication into play. Now, this could be an air person that you're dealing with. This could represent you, of course. You're an air person. So this could be Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So now, when this page is operating negatively, this is somebody who is somewhat shady. I mean, they may be ruthless in their pursuits, could be untrustworthy, could be somebody using underhanded tactics, or somebody who is just so calculating in their pursuits that they're cold and insensitive to others. So there could be some things that are going on behind the scenes that you need to pay attention to, given the Moon card last month. There could be some secret sabotage or something happening, something unexpected or unforeseen that takes place. On the positive, though, this is a period where you can probably get down to the root of something, and you may be receiving some news. There are a lot of activities related to the mental and the intellect in February. And so this is a month for you to set very small goals for yourself that are easy for you to accomplish in order to get ahead. Now, by the third month, the last part of the first quarter, you have the Fool card. And so this is something new that is taking off for you. This is a fresh start, some new chance, some new experience that you're involved in. So there could be something unexpected, a change of circumstance, or this is telling you that there is time for change. Allow yourself to trust in whatever it is that you're participating in with regard to your finances or career by taking a risk and trusting that it's going to turn out okay. There's a lot of potential that you're planting the seeds for. But now you should also have a common sense approach, because this is about not having poor judgment, not taking unnecessary risks. You could have a lack of experience with something that you're starting in March, or there may be some problems with following through, or maybe you're just stuck somewhere. It's a cliffhanger and you don't know what's going to happen next. There's some unexpected problems that have occurred because of a lack of perspective or poor decisions. But on the whole, by March, you're entering some new chapter, whether you had planned to or not. And you're making a lot of progress in matters by being cautious and trying to expand yourself while still being practical and using your common sense. So by March, you're taking on more responsibility to create your success. So March, maybe you start a new project, maybe you start a new job, maybe you move, or whatever it is, you're making some changes, beginning a partnership. But you feel a sense of renewal, new confidence. You may be traveling, maybe meeting people. And by March, you're putting some new plans in motion. So March is the time for you to get out there, socialize, network, introduce yourself to others, try to reestablish some acquaintances or begin some new ones with people who have the professional clout to open some doors for you. For others of you, again, this is a cautionary warning to not deceive yourself, especially with the moon card reinforcing that in January. Be careful of trying to impress the wrong people or save the wrong projects or wrong pursuits. And be careful of being impatient and allowing that to push you toward taking some unnecessary risks or even feeling over optimistic about the potential of an opportunity. Be careful also of being so focused on your personal gains and achievements that you lose sight of the humanity of a situation and the feelings and sensitivity toward other people. So this is a month about cautious expansion and using your common sense. So this could be a very creative period during the first quarter where you take some new direction. You're setting small goals, to make some advances. And you're taking a risk and putting yourself out there. And that's fine as long as you are not in any kind of self-denial, that you're seeing things clearly, that you're examining all opportunities closely, and being careful in the direction that you go. Your advice card is, I can always tell a different financial abundance story. What anyone else has or does not have anything to do with you. The only thing that affects your experience is the way you utilize the non-physical energy with your thought. Your abundance or lack of it in your experience has nothing to do with what anybody else is doing or having. It only has to do with your perspective. It only has to do with your offering of thought. If you want your fortunes to shift, you have to begin telling a different story. So again, this may have to do with some type of deception or imposter or where there's been something hidden. You'll have to be very careful again and examine things closely. You may have to remove yourself from a situation that involves deception in some way and go in a new direction. For others of you, you will have to have faith in what you're doing. If you're involved in something creative, you'll have to take a risk with regard to that and trust that it's going to turn out the way that you hope. Now, with regard to love and relationships, let me preface this by saying general readings for love relationships I find to be difficult given the variations of relationships out there. And I know people feel especially sensitive to love and relationship readings. So if it does not ring true for you, please toss it aside. This is a message for someone, but it doesn't have to be you. So in the beginning of the first quarter, you have the World card. So if you're involved in a relationship, you may have reached a new phase. This is the last card in the deck. So you've finished a cycle within your relationship, and you may have it may be culminating to a place where you feel a complete sense of trust with your partner. There's a sense of belonging, but without codependency. You may feel comfortable with your partner. You're not bored. There's a sense of fulfillment, and yet you each retain your own sense of individuality and your own interests. For some of you, over the past few months or whatever time span, maybe you have faced some issues and you have risen above whatever challenges or fears that you were facing together and come out on the other side. Some of you, this is going to be a long-term commitment for you. For others of you, some of you, maybe you're involved in traveling with your partner, or you are involved in a long distance relationship, or with someone who is from a different cultural, ethnic, social background than yourself. Now, for some of you, there's some unfinished business that you have with a partner. or there's a desire for someone without any kind of fulfillment. So you may be closing yourself off to certain opportunities or certain possibilities. This is a card about no limitations, or being able to say no to what is beyond us. So you may be closing yourself off to opportunities or possibilities in a relationship, or the search for love. For some of you, this is about feeling a sense of contentment, especially if you are single. You're happy where you are. You're feeling a sense of completeness, of wholeness. But for others of you, this is about a second chance at something. Maybe somebody you were involved with before, or if you have a relationship and you've encountered some obstacles, maybe you're taking a second crack at it. So this is about making some changes and doing something differently, a fresh start. So you're looking at any kind of emotional dependencies or bad habits that have been blocking your relationship in some way. And so this could be a month where you decide you're going to do things differently. You're starting over with a new attitude. Maybe you're making some changes together in the relationship. And maybe you're coming to a place of forgiveness where you are beginning to accept other people for who they are. And maybe you're accepting forgiveness, or you're forgiving yourself so that you can move forward and make some positive changes. So this is going to be a month for some of you where some kind of fortunate connection or opportunity is going to come your way that could lead to romance, or at least some social connections. In January, you are ready to uphold any new resolutions that you come up with that could improve your relationship. And maybe you work out your issues and achieve something peacefully with your partner. And for some of you, though, if you're not really motivated, if your heart isn't in the right place, even if you start to try to move in a better direction, you're going to find that you fall back in the same old rut. So this is a period for you to be careful, for both of you to be careful about, overextending yourselves financially or overstepping your emotional boundaries with one another. You may decide to do some things, make some decisions in order to achieve something you desire in a way that makes your partner feel uncomfortable or uneasy. So this is about being realistic and being realistic about what you can accomplish as far as your relationship. Now, the Six of Wands in February says that, you are moving forward and there are opportunities for you to be what your partner needs from you, as well as to receive that. So there's mutual enjoyment. You're approaching love in the right way. Your intentions are clear, and you're being compassionate toward one another. And you may be getting lots of attention and giving lots of attention to your partner. So this is a month in February for you to work together, for you to offer your support, for you to receive support from your partner. And you're going to find that if you do that, February is going to be a very enjoyable month for the both of you, relationship-wise. For others of you, there is a resistance to perhaps listening to the suggestions of your partner or listening to what's needed. And you may find that your relationship isn't as enjoyable as it could be. There could be a lack of confidence, or maybe you're questioning the relationship, or you're feeling as if the relationship offered some promise, but not what you thought. You're feeling as if, what you're receiving is not what you had originally thought the package was. But generally, this is about, feeling that you're getting the recognition and the attention that you deserve. You should be careful, though, about trying to move through problems, particularly if you're seeking forgiveness on the part of your partner, by using your charisma to turning it on and off, turning the charm on to try to justify getting what you want, using your charms or charisma in an exploitive manner. Now, by the end of the first quarter, you have the Six of Pentacles. So this is about looking at the exchange between two people and seeing whether it's fair, whether each party is getting what they deserve out of the relationship. So again, you may feel this new sense of purpose about the relationship, the things that you want to accomplish together, the ways that you want to improve the relationship. And so you're being very conscientious about starting over, starting fresh, doing it better. But be careful that you don't allow yourself to misjudge something, because if you do, this could create some difficulties within your emotional connection. You may be pushing too hard. You may be pushing your partner too hard, or your partner may be pushing back too hard, and this is going to create some friction in your relationship. But this is going to be a focus on, meaningful encounters, issues of giving and receiving, equal exchanges, and a focus on dominance and submission within the relationship. Again, some of you are going to be realizing that what you dream doesn't match what the reality is. There could be too much emotional neediness or selfishness. Maybe somebody is refusing to share, whether that's with their finances or with their emotions. So there's inequity in the relationship, or a lack of recognition from the partner. There could be this sense of getting shortchanged or dealing with jealousy or frustrations. So in that case, your relationship is not moving forward. But generally, this can be a period where you and your partner are getting along very well. There's a sense of gratitude. You've made a lot of advances together. You feel a generosity toward one another, and you tend to look out for what is best for each of you. You may even be thinking about starting something together. Now, if you're single, this could be an indication that just by getting involved in some kind of charitable cause, you may possibly meet somebody that offers some romantic opportunity for you. And this is going to be a good month in March for you to bond emotionally with another person through the physical, anything that offers sensual pleasure to both of you. However, your card is past life relationship. You have known each other before. So again, there's one of two things happening. You have some unfinished business with a partner where there may be issues of bringing something to a close, ending one phase so you can move on to the next, and issues that involve forgiveness. So you may have to forgive someone. For others of you, you are connecting with somebody because you're going to be working together toward a mutual end. Or maybe you're just learning some lessons with each other, and some of those lessons are going to require you to be patient. And usually you can recognize what is a past life relationship because there's an irresistible draw to one another, usually characterized by some kind of intense chemistry. So this may be a period where you're doing some work where you are trying to experience some personal growth, get some spiritual lessons through your connection to someone that you've had a previous relationship with. Now the theme is the Star card. So, this is about hope. And so you have a lot of hope during this quarter, a lot of optimism and trust. You're looking toward the future. For some of you, you want to renew something. You want to be comforted, or you want to restore something. You're learning something on a spiritual level, and it may involve some type of selflessness. Also, this is about some of you, there's a focus on learning something, gaining some kind of knowledge. Again, if you are artistic or creative, the star card speaks to that. Developing some kind of special talent, being creative, being fertile, renewing yourself in some way through your gifts. This is also about, planning for the future, and this is going to be a strong focus for you in the first quarter. And you may be getting help from various sources or giving that. For some of you, this is about getting to the bottom of something and discovering something that has been probably an enigma for you in the past. And again, with the Moon card, there's something that has been hidden that you will be examining during this period to take a closer look, to gain some clarity, something that you may have been in denial about. So there is some uncertainty and you're seeking some guidance during this period. And this is a card about having faith, about refreshing and rejuvenating your life in some way. So that is what is motivating you to move forward, whether that's faith in yourself, your gifts, your talents, your ability to make money, to prosper, whether that's faith in your relationships, faith in moving forward in a new direction based on forgiveness and starting over. You're going to feel a strong connection to others during this period that allows you to get in touch with your intuition and make better choices for yourself. So there could be some truths or some secrets that come out, some things that are unpleasant, and you may have to confront some truths and realities, but these are going to allow you again for some spiritual growth, some achievement, some personal achievement, and some mutual achievement. And you will be learning to look at things as a whole and see the positive out of something that may be challenging. Now, for some of you, you're looking at your partnerships or some career directions or the way you're spending your money or growing your money, and you will realize that either one of two things is taking place, that you are involved in something that may be demanding, but it's worth the effort, or you're involved in situations that don't and will not be yielding any return. And you're going to have to keep your emotions in check in order to guide you to make the right decisions. So this is going to be a quarter where you're again, that faith about whether you are capable, what your gifts are, other people, or even something that you have believed in the past, you will be tested on that, and you will be opening yourself up to new possibilities. The Fool card says there's a new chapter available to you, and as long as you are open to receive, that faith is going to be rewarded, although probably not in the way that you expected. Now, the Page of Cups is the underlying influence. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. The Yin card. Again, this is about receptive energy, using that intuition, taking in information before you act, allowing other people to make that first move by collaborating, putting your ideas out there, but not necessarily trying to control the flow of events, and allowing the universe to offer its gift of abundance to you without you pushing forward for it. Now, the Page of Cups as the underlying energy speaks of maybe some type of inexperience in some way, or something new regarding something emotional or creative for you. This could be the beginning stages of something. Now, if you're involved in a connection, you may have gotten involved without thinking about what the true consequences of it was. And you may be reevaluating that at this point. For some of you, you're discovering that given what you have found out, your feelings are changing for good or bad. Now, this could be you're deciding to take something to the next level with someone. Maybe you have a connection and you want to strengthen that, or maybe you're reconnecting with somebody that you were with in the past, a former partner. But for others of you, you definitely want to start something new. You want to meet new people and have new experiences. And for some of you, you're deciding that the relationship or connections or the course that you're on is a mistake and you don't want to move any further with it. This is a period where whatever has been happening for you, good or bad, it's going to change course. You're going to move in a new direction. There's going to be some significant turning point for you during this month. During this quarter. All right, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I would greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your kind comments. For those of you who've already offered your support, please know that I am grateful and committed to you. Have a wonderful 2017. Make it count.